Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 45th edition of the Alabama Crimson Tide Live Show, where it's yours truly, Jackson Johnson, my partner in crime, Jeffrey at Only Talk Sports, as we take your calls all right here on Alabama, the voice of college football. And let me tell you something, folks, it's going to be a wild ride. How you doing tonight, good buddy?
Doing great, Jackson. Again, the season is so close. 9 days away from week 0, from the beginning of the 2025 college football season. We got to wait a little longer as Crimson Tide fans to see our team. But still, college football, it is nigh. It is right around the corner. I cannot wait for the beginning of the season. I cannot wait to talk about whatever we decide to talk about tonight with our callers. You guys, we appreciate your guys' support. We appreciate it. We've been growing closer to 3,000 subs. Couldn't do it without you guys, including our member, the Godfather of the SEC, our OG member. We appreciate you so much. Always love hearing your takes on Alabama, especially Alabama history. That's always great, but can't wait to get into the show tonight, man.
There you go, getting that number one finger from the Godfather. Let's go. Making that offer you can't refuse. And of course, there's some more offers that we can't refuse to you that we would love to make sure you get. The YouTube membership tiers of Alabama with the Voice of College Football for $2.99 a month. You can become a Crimson Faithful member where you'll get loyalty badges next to your name in the comments and the live chat, and you get member shout outs like our friends Zachary Wilges and the Godfather of the SEC. And a roll tide to you too, Zach. Custom emojis in the comments and the live chat, and much more. And for $4.99 a month, you can become a Saban Disciple, where you'll get priority replies to comments and access to a monthly hangout from yours truly, Jackson Johnson, Jeff Reed Only Talk Sports, and Coach Smooth. And for $9.99 a month, you can become a Bear Bryant legend by connecting on social media with each of us and give out content requests of any kind. And neither rain nor sleet nor snow nor the miserable Bama weather will stop us from fulfilling your content requests, all right here on Alabama Voice College Football. We got Zachary giving us the foam finger, a bunch of them. All right. Here we go. And we have our first caller of the night, the Godfather of the SEC. How you doing tonight, man?
What you two cats up to?
Nothing much, just getting ready for the season to start.
Absolutely.
I hear you. I'm trying to hold this damn camera up. That's what I'm trying to do. I got the wrong podium here for this baby. Anyway, what y'all think about Ty Simpson as a not starting quarterback while I get this adjusted? Talk, Jeffrey, talk.
I mean, I think that it was expected. You know, we knew that he was going to be the starter. It's kind of like Jackson said, you know, earlier in the offseason. It was more like when it was announced was more of the question, you know, not if. And yeah, it definitely it got announced, I guess, at an expected time. I think some people thought maybe it would be like at the end of fall camp since this thing had kind of dragged. But I guess, you know, DeBoer was like, let's get it out of the way. I don't think personally naming the starter is that big of a deal, because at the end of the day, whoever you start is who you start. Like, it could have literally been when the Florida State game tipped off, you know, or kicked off, whatever. And like, if Ty Simpson was the guy that trotted out on the field, you know, he was the one warming up, trotted out on the field, then we would have all been like, yeah, that was expected. But a lot of people make it much more than it is, that it's got to be announced in the off season or, you know, beginning of fall camp. I don't think it's that big a deal, but people, you know, make a big deal out of it. So DeBoer gave the people what they wanted, named the starter, and I don't think it was a surprise at all. I thought early off season Keelan Russell had a shot, but as the offseason progressed, it definitely looked like Ty Simpson was going to win the job. It was expected he would, and now he's going to be given his chance to be the next starting quarterback for Alabama and hopefully lead us to success and have a great career. But we'll see what he does. It's going to be interesting because some people are still not high on him, but he definitely had a good offseason, it seems.
Yeah, what I was looking at is Jam Miller. What weight room has he been going to?
Ooh, he's looking jacked. I know, right?
Yeah, well, we've had some people say like Jam Miller shouldn't be the starter, you know, or he shouldn't be getting the most of the snaps. I disagree with that. I think Jam Miller should be getting at least, you know, 60% of the snaps this year. Obviously, we've got two other running backs that definitely deserve snaps, definitely deserve to get a share of the load. But this is Jam Miller's running back room. This is his year. It's his last year, I believe, and he's worked his way, to earning this job. And like you said, he looks jacked and ready to go. So I'm excited to see Jam Miller this season.
Yeah, it looks like Blues had him really going at it hard in the weight room in the off season, doesn't it?
Man.
He's gained a lot. He's gained a lot of size. I mean, big time size, really.
Absolutely. You got to have it in the SEC. I mean, with the amount of great defensive players, how big they are, too. I mean, some of the biggest collegiate players, probably majority of the biggest collegiate players, are SEC defensive linemen. And it's like, to be able to, run through those guys, to be able to take those hits, you got to be, jacked as a running back. You have to be in great shape.
I think they said this could be the best running back room Alabama's had in a while. I mean, who is that other cat? What's that other boy's name? I think he weighs 245. I can't get what's his name? I can't think of it. What is his name?
I'm trying to remember,
position?
Jack, off the top of my head at running back. We've got a Daniel Hill's the third string guy. He's coming to mind, but who's the second string guy again?
Well, let's see. We got Richard Young.
Richard Young. That's it.
Yeah,
Richard Young.
I think he's he's pretty elusive to be 245. I mean, I didn't really think he was that big, but he didn't look that big. But they said he was, so that's a pretty good load. I mean, the speed he's got. So if they can, what I'm interested in is the offensive line. How much improvement is at the offensive line? And I think they said they had one out Saturday. I can't remember which one it was hurt. Was it Roberts?
Sounds about right.
Yeah, I can't think of his first name. I think he plays one of the guard positions, I think. But the offensive line is what's, they can get the offensive line where they can block and pass block and run block. I mean, I don't know. You see these preseason polls, everybody's, like you said on your show, preseason polls are for people just to get people wound up. That's all it is.
Absolutely. I mean, that's why like everybody did a show on it. I did the live stream, and it's like, all right, this is what we're talking about here. It gets people talking. It gets people excited about the season, complaining about their team. And it's like, it doesn't matter. It means nothing. Like, if Alabama was ranked third right now in the preseason poll versus us being ranked 8th, it doesn't mean any difference. Because at the end of the day, what we do during the season is what matters. If we go 11-1, we're making the playoffs. Whether we start the season ranked 3rd or 8th, it doesn't matter. It's just people are going to complain. It gets people talking. So definitely.
Yeah, I was flipping through some of those stuff I put on Facebook there. I think I put up the 1990. It might have been the Iron Bowl. I guess it was Iron Bowl. Freddie Kitchens and Dennis Riddle and might have been one of the Tennessee games. I put so much stuff up I can't remember sometimes, but most of these guys don't even remember who Freddie Kitchens was or Dennis Riddle, I don't guess. Have y'all ever heard of either one of them?
Oh, yeah. Look, Freddie Kitchens, I'm familiar with him being a terrible coach at the Browns, but he was great at Bama as a player.
Yeah, I remember that as well.
Well, yeah.
I'm just glad Alabama didn't try to make him the next head coach or try to make him a coaching candidate when Saban retired. I was like, thank God for that.
There's a lot of people that I'm glad we did not hire. Honestly, I'm just saying there's a lot of guys that would have led us off a cliff that people are saying that we are currently descending towards. We're not falling off a cliff. We're still Alabama. We're not Saban Alabama, but we're still really good. It's not like we've tanked or anything like Nebraska after Bo Pelini. We're not going to do that. I don't think we're going to fall off like that.
Kitchens was tough. He took some hits. He was a pretty tough quarterback. I mean, he a lot of people didn't like him. I met him a couple of times. He is a nice guy. But I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. He had some severe health problems there at one time, and it was either before the Browns or while he was with the Browns. I think he got all of that taken care of. I don't really know where Freddie is now, but they kind of
He's working with Bill Belichick now.
Oh, okay. Is he up at North Carolina then, huh?
Oh, yeah.
That's
Okay.
crazy. Yeah, I have not really paid attention to UNC football that much this all
No.
season. Contrary to popular belief, I mean, I like Carolina, but all I know is Belichick and Jordan Hudson. That's about all I know about UNC. I don't know much else. I'm not gonna lie. So that's crazy that he's on the staff, Freddie Kitchens. That's crazy.
What's he got him doing, Jackson? What's he doing?
Offensive coordinator.
Is he the offensive coordinator?
Right, so.
Well, I mean, they when they beat
Hopefully he
Auburn
does
there,
good.
Philip Dole beat Auburn with a 47-yard field goal. You remember we called him Santa Claus, Little Bowden, Terry Bowden. He was so short. I mean, when he was at Auburn, I mean, he had to jump up to answer the telephone when he was sitting in his chair. He, he had a couple of good teams. Terry Bowden did, but I mean, I don't know when Coach Stallings got there. Those guys seemed like they turned around 360. I still think the program was. I still think the program was going up. What'd he say? I'm not reading the comments. I was.
Breaking news: Jeffrey considering extending his fandom to North Carolina. I live in North Carolina, Steve.
Or at least he'll try to.
I live in North Carolina, Steve. I like North Carolina. I just don't follow UNC football that closely. I mean, I know Mitch Trubisky, I know Fedora, I know Mac Brown, I know Sam Howell. I know Drake May. Like, I know all that. I follow UNC decently close, but I don't follow them like I follow Alabama or even Indiana probably. Now, the Carolina basketball, that's a different story. I follow them a lot heavier. But I like Carolina football. But with the whole Belichick thing, I just think it's funny because some people, there's like probably 10 people out there that think Belichick's a big deal. They think it's insane. It's like Dion level insanity of how crazy it is and the media hype. But most people legitimately probably have already forgotten Belichick's at UNC. I mean, literally, and the season hasn't even started yet. Most people don't really care all that badly.
They'll pop it up on Labor Day. They'll pop it up on Labor Day.
Yeah, they will. But then if UNC loses, then it will just fade to obscurity. Now, if they win, if Carolina does good, then it will get some more hype. But it's still not going to get hype like Dion at Colorado. I don't think. Not even close.
Okay.
I still think Dabo will win the ACC. I mean, he's won so many. I just don't see anybody right now can give him any competition in the ACC. North Carolina might or Miami. I mean, I don't know. Do y'all see anybody could? I think he'll win it again. I don't see
Miami
anybody.
well, they'll win games that they shouldn't, and they'll lose games they
Miami
shouldn't.
should be good. That's the problem. Like, they should be right there with Clemson, and that they never are. That is why Miami fans are always disappointed. That's why in the college football media space, Miami always gets, I wouldn't say clowned upon. They're not awful. It's just they always underperform. They should be better. They've got the talent. They've got the resources, but they just never live up to expectations. There are just a few programs that are like this every year. A&M, Miami, they just do this every single year where they get ranked highly in the preseason, they get hyped up, and then they never deliver. I would agree. I think Clemson, the ACC is going to continue to be theirs as long as the ACC is in the shape that it's in and they don't leave. There's no one to really challenge them. Miami should, but they're not going to, most likely. Florida State's a mess. UNC maybe, but I doubt it. And that's it. SMU, they're not that great. I mean, that should have never even happened last year, honestly. And I feel like Dabo's finally figuring out that if he wants to compete for championships again, he started to actually use the portal to plug holes. So they've got more depth now than they've had in the last 3-4 seasons. So to me, I think on paper, their team's better than it's been last couple of years. So they should be the best team in the ACC by far. They should win the league and maybe have a shot to win a playoff game, this time. Maybe.
I was really kind of shocked his name didn't come up when Coach Saban left.
We talked about it. We talked about it. Me and you did, Jackson, and some people thought that it could happen, but it never really materialized. There were never really any rumors about it. It seemed like the coaching search. It was Norvell, Kiffin, DeBoer, Mike Loxley, which again, thank goodness that was not actually
God.
legitimate. But you know, it never
It's
really surfaced with Dabo. It just even Kirby was kind of like for whatever slightly thrown around, even though that wasn't going to happen. But Dabo, I feel like Dabo would have been more of a possibility maybe 4 or 5 years ago versus now.
I'll really get some slack on this one. Do we have a quarterback that is as good as Michael Penix Jr. when DeBoer went to the championship and Michigan beat the brakes off of him basically with the number 2 quarterback in the country. Of course, I think who won it that year? I think Jaden Daniels won it that year, didn't he?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Penix, I would say, was number 2, probably quarterback in the country. Do we have a quarterback on the roster as good as Michael Penix Jr.?
I mean, as of
It's a
right now, I
possibility.
would say no, but Keelan Russell, he's the only guy that could get to that level. Maybe eventually he could, but even then, that's a steep, pedestal to be second best quarterback in college football. I mean, Jaden Daniels and Michael Penix Jr. were both incredible. Like they were legitimately incredible that season. I mean, Jaden Daniels, a lot of people are like, oh, he shouldn't have won the Heisman. It's like, all right, the guy literally was the only reason LSU made a bowl game. He's the only reason that Brian Kelly still has a job. They should have gone 4-8. That's how trash that team was. They were complete trash. And he was that good. It's like Lamar at Louisville. Sometimes you got to give the Heisman to the player on a bad team that is the only reason that team's ain't doing anything. I mean, sometimes you just have to. I would have loved to see Penix, win it since, he's at Indiana. I really like Penix. But Jane Daniels deserved the award. He did. But I would say no, absolutely not as of right now. With Keelan Russell, the only guy that has the potential to reach maybe a Penix level, maybe.
Who's going to be our second string quarterback?
Oh, it's gonna be Russell.
I would say Russell. Some people think Mac, but I would say Russell. But
probably so. I mean, well, he hadn't announced it yet. I don't guess so. We might know by game time. I guess I don't know. He didn't say anything about it, or hadn't said. There's been a lot of rumors floating around who it's going to be. But everybody knew Ty Simpson was going to be the starting quarterback. I mean, I did. I mean, he's waited his time out, so he ought to be able to start. We'll see what he can do. The FSU game, I don't know if it'll be such a big pushover or not. I mean, it might be a better game if Alabama has to dig down and fight a little bit. You know what I'm saying? A blowout's a blowout. That's fine to me. That's wonderful, But sometimes you got to get down and get a little dirty sometimes to figure out where you're at. Then you figure out where you're at. You got to. So if it's a little sort of a tough game, it might do them some good. I don't know. I don't know what y'all think about it, but I think it might myself.
Oh,
yeah, I would
absolutely.
agree with that. I mean, I remember that one year Georgia won the national championship, one of the Kirby titles. They barely beat Clemson in the first game. Now you remember that was a really close game. It was all defense. But I mean, clearly by the end of the season, Georgia was a way better team than they were in that game. But it's like they were tested by Clemson. Both teams just rock solid defense. No one really could score. Literally, Georgia won because of a pick six. That literally was the only score in the game other than 2 field goals. It was like 10-3. And after that game, Georgia got better and better and better, and they ended up winning it all that year. I think it was 2022, I believe. But yeah, I mean, you could see something like that. Maybe Alabama wins like a 1-score game against Florida State. It's like a dogfight, like a 17-10 type of game. But then by the end of the year, we're so much better because of that game. Like that game helped, alert us like, hey, like no messing around. We can't, perform like this against Georgia or South Carolina. 2021, Will. Thanks. Appreciate that, Will. But yeah, when Georgia won the title, though, it was 2022 because it passed the new year. But 2021 was the 2021 season. So yeah, you're right. But yeah, I mean, you have to sometimes have some adversity. You have to have right out of the gate something to kind of wake you up, like to say, hey, we almost could have lost this game. That could have really hurt our season. And but we got it done, and now we're laser focused to not lose again in the future.
There we go. Well, Godfather, anything else you got for us tonight before we get to our next caller?
No, I don't reckon so. I can tell you a field or a lie if you want to hear it, but that's about all I've got tonight. I hope you two cats continue on doing the show like y'all keep it going. It's a great show. I missed it Thursday night. I'm sorry about that, but
Oh, you're
I
good,
had
man. No worries.
I had some things I had to do, but I'm back tonight. So you and Jeffrey doing a great job, Aaron. And it's this crowd's sort of getting to know. We're sort of getting to know one another now, so we sort of know how each other roll a little bit now. So, but anyway, y'all hop off here. I know you got more callers. I appreciate it, Jackson and Jeffrey, and I'll see y'all. I'll be listening in here and watching TV. I'll see y'all next Thursday. If good Lord's willing, the creek don't rise.
Absolutely,
There we go.
Godfather. Appreciate it. Always love chatting. Appreciate it.
We'll see you next Thursday, good buddy. And that was the Godfather of the SEC. And up next, we got Alabama Richie on the line. How you doing
Hey,
tonight,
what's
good
going on, you
buddy?
guys?
Doing great, Alabama Richie. How's it going?
Not too bad. Finally got to say hear Godfather, so mate, I'll do my Pat McAfee clap for him.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, brother. I wanted to ask you guys, did you see the footage of Hugh Freeze getting mad at that practice with Jackson Arnold?
Oh man, things are not going well in Auburn, man. That's all I can say.
So the SEC show we do on Tuesdays, I was telling people they didn't want to, because I got a guy that's a good friend of mine. He's an Auburn guy, and he was saying if we had a bad season at Alabama, that DeBoer would be in the hot seat. And I chimed in and said DeBoer's not going to be in the hot seat if we have a bad season. Now it'll be a very concerning, season, and they'll start to question, was he the right fit? But again, I had to bring them into reality that when you're surpassing a legendary coach in Saban, you're gonna have to figure it out. It's his way, not doing the same way Saban did it. And I was telling them, I said, I got bad news. There's three coaches in the SEC that are in the hot seat this year. Sam Pittman, Venables could be in the hot seat if he has a bad season, but Mateer is the reason why they're ranked to me. And then Hugh Freeze and Brian Kelly. So forget Venables, it'd be Brian Kelly and Hugh Freeze and Sam Pittman.
Mm-hmm.
You can't afford to have another I missed the playoffs or barely or didn't make a bowl game in Auburn. Those Auburn donors, what's the word I'm looking for? Those Auburn buffs, they will buy them out. They don't care. They're tired of a losing season. That's the same thing about LSU. You're exactly right. Telling Godfather the only reason he even sniffs a job anymore and has an office is because of Jaden Daniels. Without Jaden Daniels being there, you know, anybody could have coached that 2019 LSU team that won it all. Anybody could have if you didn't make any bad mistakes because that team was so stacked. This team now, you've got a couple guys, and it's like the other problem too is I don't know if you guys heard about it, but Garrett Nussmeier's dealing with it's not serious, but they came out and said he was dealing with like jumper's knee. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I've been hearing rumors about that.
So it's
Yeah, I mean, he
equivalent.
already has terrible mobility anyway. So that's he's
Exactly.
essentially it's like Curtis Ford ACL issues. It's like you're just gonna have a dude that's just standing back there throwing the ball. Like he's not gonna move anywhere. So it's like that's not good in the SEC. That's not good at all. Like you got to have a guy these days that can at least move around. He doesn't have to be a scrambler. He just has to be able to move. So.
Yeah, the other thing you were mentioning too. So, anyways, really quick back on that. Yeah, and that's going to hurt him in the NFL too if he's not able to move around.
That's why Curtis Ford got drafted where he got drafted. I mean, he put up insane stats and he barely got drafted. Like Nussmeier's not going to be a top, 2 or 3 round pick, no matter how good he does, because he can't move. So I agree. Sorry to interrupt, but that's just
no, you're all good. Yeah, and then I was going to say that it really, really to Godfather's point, who's our backup quarterback? We don't really. We have two other proven guys. So even if it's Austin Mack, at least he fits. He would be the only other option that I could say to me would be the next Michael Penix. Not the same quarterback, but what I mean is like he knows the Boer system and knows what the Boer does to a point where you'll get the best out of him no matter what. Keelan Russell, I tell this to everybody, he doesn't need to start anytime soon because it's like rookies in the NFL. You do not want your rookie quarterback starting right away. Like, and give an example, Seattle, they drafted Milrow. Milrow does not need to see any time this year unless Sam Darnold is horrible. And we don't want that to happen because I don't wish anything to happen to anybody. But you don't want Sam Darnold having a bad season because then you got to play Milrow because he's their only real option. And if he does bad for some reason in real games with real starters, yeah, he looked okay when he came in, but he wasn't playing with starters. He was playing with like a second string. So people get the analogy of I'm good. No, you're just okay. And then I just think that you know Brian Kelly and Hugh Freeze are in like the biggest of hot seats. It's like there's a reason why Auburn's not ranked. There's a reason why every single year they keep saying this is it. And you thought you had a quarterback that was better than what you had last year. Well, if your coach is getting mad at you in practice, I'd suggest you do everything he says and step up. I don't want to say that it's going to be a bad season for Auburn because I don't wish I'm going to be the only one you'll probably ever hear saying, I don't wish them to have a terrible season because it makes for a great Iron Bowl. Because if one of us, like if Auburn's just okay going into the Iron Bowl, you can basically figure out what it's going to be. There's only, since I've been watching, the Iron Bowl, there's only been three games that really stood out. The kick six, the 4th and 31, and then the what was it, the triple overtime with Bryce Young and TJ Finley. I mean, that right there has been to me the three best Iron Bowls. The last few seasons after that, you could basically predict it unless you were Auburn fan and just knew you were going to have a better team than Bama when they had that Cam Newton won it all season. I mean, realistically, so I don't know. It's going to be very interesting this year for the SEC, but if they can't figure it out with let me ask you this. Do you think Mateer's guilty for gambling or do you think they're just trying to say that to spice up the season?
I think it's horse dog.
I have no
Honestly,
idea. I would probably say no, it's not true, but it's just kind of hilarious because I mean, like you said, great point you made earlier. The only reason Oklahoma's ranked right now, literally the only reason, and because let's rank Oklahoma so that Michigan game has a lot more hype, right? It's like I mean, I'm sorry, I said that on my stream. I did say that. I sometimes am a believer in those type of things where it's like, you want that game to be a lot bigger. So it's like, it looks a lot cooler if you got two top 20 teams versus, Michigan's ranked and Oklahoma's not. So it's like, let's just go in and rank Oklahoma. It's not going to hurt anything if they're ranked because, they lose, we just drop them out. Who cares? But I mean, so I don't know. Like, it's just, they have done nothing to prove that they deserve to be ranked right now. Like, again, it's a preseason ranking. It means nothing anyway, but it's like based off last year, okay, they beat us. Other than that, their season was trash. So it's like, okay, you've added Mateer, and the defense is going to be pretty good, but we don't even know if Mateer's going to be good, because that's a big jump from Washington State, not the Pac-12 Washington State, but the Pac-2 Washington State. To now being at, the SEC, the best conference in football for some people, Big Ten now, but I mean the SEC, they're neck and neck, dude. At this point, they got all the money, but it's like the SEC best conference, second best conference, 1.5 best conference. It's the best competition in the land you're facing, and it's like Oklahoma was not good last year, so it's like I just don't know if they deserve to be ranked right out of the gate. Now, Auburn, real quick, absolutely, they don't deserve to be ranked. The issue for Auburn is that not only do they not have as much talent as they used to have, they have talent, but they don't have as much talent as they used to have back when they had Malzahn and some of their previous coaches, they had more talent back then than they do now compared to everyone else. They are lacking in talent in certain areas. They always draft people. They always have a couple good defenders. They always have like a good running back maybe, or maybe one good receiver or something. But that's it. They have like 3 or 4 really good players. They get drafted. That's it. And the rest of the team is just kind of not good. But the biggest weakness for Auburn is at their quarterback play. The last 5, 6, 7 seasons has been hot trash. It has been horrible. They have no quarterback. I mean, the list of guys that they have had since Jared Stidham, and he was just fine, right? Jared Stidham was a fine quarterback into Malzahn era. Every quarterback they've had since him has been terrible, basically, especially the recent ones. Like, they've been really bad. Robbie Ashford, TJ Finley, Jackson Arnold's not going to do anything. He's not going to do a thing. He went to a worse team. He literally went to a worse team. They had Zach Calzada, too, which for brief. I mean, they've had just all these horrible quarterbacks. That's why they suck, and they're not going to be good till they actually get a good quarterback. I mean,
Zach Calzada didn't even sniff the field. That's why. That's just how bad. See, here's the thing. You'll never know what Zach Calzada could have done at Auburn because it forced him to transfer to Incarnate Ward. And now everybody says to me, I said it on the SEC show we do. I said, how is it that Kentucky can't even find a quarterback to commit and say, I want to be here? Your last Calzada starting at Kentucky. Sorry, Daryl. Oh, no, you're fine, Win. But yeah, or Will, it's crazy because the last, 5 quarterbacks were Will Levis transfers from Penn State, Brock Vandegrift transferred in from Georgia, Devin Leary transferred from NC State, and then you have Zach Calzada. So maybe the last 4, but you haven't had anybody commit to Kentucky and say Mark Stoops is the guy. I want to rep Kentucky because most people are just like, okay, well, if Kentucky doesn't do well in football, at least we've got Mark Pope in basketball. And that's not making a knack on Kentucky. That's just what Kentucky's been known for.
That's the way UNC football is. It doesn't matter. It's like UNC basketball is what it is. You know, the only reason Indiana is having this kind of shift from, Indiana basketball, they're the crazies, and there's Notre Dame football and Indiana basketball, and that's just the way it is, to now Indiana football is because Indiana basketball has been horrible for so daggum long that they're just kind of like, screw it. We'll just start watching the football team because Kurt Signetti, this dude's legit. We just made the playoffs. How can we not support this? That's the only reason that's happening. If Indiana basketball ever gets their crap together, then they'll support basketball again. But that's the only reason. UNC basketball and Kentucky basketball are what matters at those schools. There are not that many basketball schools. Kansas is, of course, Steven, we got to have a Signetti reference. Kansas, Indiana, Kentucky, Carolina, Duke, those are all basketball schools. It's just the way that it is, and people do not care about football at those schools to the same degree. When Kentucky had Benny Snell and Mark Stoops had them relevant, they showed up to the games, but then the very second that they fall off a cliff, you see where the support goes. It falls apart. No one cares anymore. Like, right now, they could care less if Mark Stoops got fired. They don't even care. Like, it's just like, whatever. Well, Kentucky basketball, we're going to, make Final Fours and stuff. They don't care. They just do not care. And sadly, if that's what happened with Indiana, they would stop caring. Those type schools only care when the team's good on football. That's it.
The last time Kentucky was relevant in football was with Jaron Lorenzen. You remember him? The bigger quarterback?
Big dude at QB.
Yep. That was the last time that Kentucky.
Kind of like Billy Bob from Varsity Blues in a way. A little bit skinnier.
Oh, you mean that James Vanderbeek movie?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he had like the pancakes and the I don't understand the drinking syrup. Like, I never understood. I was watching it last night on Netflix. It's like, well, okay, to each their own. But I did like the funny looking dog, Bacon.
Well, that's funny. When I got sick with like food poisoning for like 3 days, I was randomly looking for movies, and I was like, hey, aren't you the guy from that Dawson's Creek TV show? And someone told me you need to tune into Dawson's Creek. So I watched it, and I found that movie, Varsity Blues. I was like, okay. And so
I hate to say that I've seen Dawson's Creek. I have watched that show.
I've seen it. I'm not ashamed to say it was actually Like I Don't Want to Wait is a good song.
Yes,
And I don't care
it
what
is.
people
It
say.
is.
It's a very underrated song. I don't care
Yeah.
what people say, but the last time that Kentucky was relevant was with Jaron Lorenzen, and people were so hyped on Will Levis, and then he did what he did. They're like, oh, he's going. If you didn't pan out at Penn State, what makes you think the SEC is going to change your mind? Like you got to outplay a lot of these other schools to have a chance. And I agree with what you said that um Godfather. It's like every year and I'm not saying this to be disrespectful. A&M is a good program. You know, Buzz Williams had him. I'm fortunate he's not there in basketball anymore, but he had him in basketball. Every year they keep saying, "No, this is A&M's year in football. A&M's year in football." Well, every year you had Jimbo, you had just okay seasons. You know what's even crazier too is you brought up UNC basketball. North Carolina football, we talked about it tonight on the show I do for Wager Wire. UNC with their football program has Max Johnson, a 6-year senior. If they lose Max Johnson, they're done. They're pretty much done. That's the season right there. And Belichick, I mean, he can vouch a little bit and say I didn't have a quarterback, but if anybody's going to turn Max Johnson around, but he's not really that mobile of a quarterback either. So that's another thing that's going to hurt him
Especially
too.
with his injuries, he's lost whatever mobility he had. I mean, he was never a mobile guy, but like you watched him back, at LSU early on when he was playing, and like he could kind of make little shifts in the pocket to stay alive. Yeah, watching him the brief time that he played last year for UNC against Minnesota, I mean, he was pretty much a statue. And he got hurt again. So it's like, yeah, this dude's not going to be moving like at all.
And people wonder why he doesn't play for
Richie,
A&M anymore.
Yeah.
So,
well, Richie, anything else you got for us for tonight? We
I
got some
don't.
callers.
Absolutely. Other than I think Diesel Caden's up, so I can't wait to hear what he has
Gonna be
to
another
say.
great conversation, I'm sure.
We suck. Let's go ahead and put it out there, Caden. I know you're gonna say we suck. So.
Yeah, we suck, and our brains are full of dog poo or whatever. I mean, that's just the way that it is. It's all mush.
Who did he compare himself to last week?
Brock Lesnar. I was like, dude, you were not Brock Lesnar. None of us are Brock Lesnar. Okay.
Yeah.
Man, it's like a Phineas and Ferb episode, like there's gonna be like a Sydney reference of Kate the Diesel Freak calling in. The only thing that's missing is a call-in episode where we're all like wearing Kate the Diesel Freak suits, like kind of like how everybody's wearing the Candace suits on Phineas and Ferb.
The day that Caden shows his face, I'm gonna have to get a pinata and hang it up and just beat it to a pulp. And let whatever falls out of it fall. Like come on. Like you say you're Brock Lesnar. Let me at least see what we're working with here. Come on.
Well, it's not much. Trust me, it's not much.
Yeah. But in all seriousness, we always get a good laugh.
Before I go, you guys, shout out to my boy Will. Hope you're doing well, brother. And I forgot to mention we do a show called Here Comes the Irish. So if you're looking for good Notre Dame, he likes Notre Dame, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you want to hear
Notre Dame fan for sure.
Absolutely. If you're looking for some good Notre Dame talk, Will, my buddy, our guy Brian does Irish talk this week. It's at 9. So you can come listen to us on X about the Irish, any news you want. He knows his stuff. You'd love the show. Other than that, you guys have a wonderful night.
Appreciate it, Alabama Rich. See you next week.
See you guys.
All righty. And the moment you're waiting for, the weekly Caden the Diesel Freak call in for 8 minutes. How you doing tonight, man?
Another day out in the cornfields and another day out just taking care of business.
Sniff is more diesel.
There you go, man.
Jeffrey, and you're a Toyota Prius, which takes about 50% gas, 50% electric, yet your motor's weak as crap. So don't be going on my road.
I drive a gas car, thank you. Okay.
Well, I called you out on it.
Man,
Well, I
you remember,
called you out
that
for it.
SpongeBob episode, Jackson? 50% C, 50% weed.
Yep.
Oh man, that's so good. And then Plankton was like 1% evil, 99% hot gas. Sorry, go ahead, Kate. Sorry.
Yeah, I've never watched SpongeBob in my life, and to be honest, it's ridiculous.
It's a great
Wait,
show, man.
how
First
old are
3
you?
seasons are goated.
Wait, how old are you, man?
21.
Oh, damn, dude, you missing out a lot.
Dude, early SpongeBob was peak. Okay, modern crap, kind of like Cars, is a joke. Modern cars, old Toyotas are the best cars. All right, best cars.
Oh my god, you drive a Corvette. That's funny.
Hey, Corvette, they say it's an older person car. Anybody can drive. Anybody can drive a Corvette, but you got to have the Corvette bucks. You know what I'm saying? Old Toyotas are cheap, reliable. They last forever. That's what I'm saying, man. Fuel efficient. You know, they can get you on the interstate. Old Toyotas. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. It's just it's the best car. It's the best car. That's why the resale value of the things are so high these days. They used to be really cheap to buy an old one, but now they're more expensive because people know where it's at. They don't buy an American car. Support America, but yeah, you yawn, man. I'm telling you, man, your American car ain't gonna last, dude.
That's why I drive a truck. I drive a truck, particularly my 13 F-150, but sometimes I drive a 95 or 94 F-350 12-valve Cummins, 6-speed automatic, 550 horsepower, and that boy will tell you get out the roadway because I'm hauling you know what down the road.
Just make sure the cops aren't coming after you. You'll be all right.
There you go.
Well, I feel sorry about the boys that wear the crimson and white uniforms because I've been hearing rumors from down in the south there with Georgia that John Gruden was going to be hired as the defensive coordinator there. You heard it right here, John Gruden.
Okay, all right.
Hey.
Yeah, hey Jackson, have you heard anything about that?
No, but I heard he wants to be a head coach at an SEC school.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
it's not going to be Alabama, and it's not going to be Georgia.
Well, I particularly know it's going to be Georgia because I'm like thinking, you know what? That Georgia fits his mottos. You know, it fits his system. And truthfully told, if he coaches at Georgia, Alabama is not going to have a good season after, he joins as the head coach, and it's going to be bad. Well, bad for you guys, but for me, I'm going to be laughing my tail off because, Alabama got their whipped.
Oh my god, Gruden becoming a defense coordinator. Okay,
Austin, you want me to state my sources?
Belichick.
You want me to state my sources, Austin? Okay, I'll state you a source that's actually dead correct. So you see here, Austin, you got two dummies on my right. And there's an alpha male on the left. Right here. On the screen here. Because Jackson and Jeffrey on my right here. Let me just say this. I at least drive a truck that's American made. And at least I know for one dang sure I don't even need an introduction. So I do not even need a waste of breath for you, Austin, because you are irrelevant to me, and you know you ain't on my level, son.
Is it because he drives a Kia? I mean, is that why you don't take him seriously? Is because he drives a Kia?
I can't take him seriously because he's the most idiotic sports commentator on this entire dang platform. Like I don't even know why that guy.
I saw him talking with Gabriel Pickup on Sports Talk with Austin today, talking about the NBA schedule. It sounds like a pretty smart dude to me.
Forget about the NBA. College football season is coming around the corner, and you already know two of the most dominant teams are back on the hot seat, and they're ready to kick raise some hell, and take no names and no prisoners. Oh, and by the way,
Ryan Day was on the hot seat. Yeah, we know until.
And by the way,
playoff run.
I have my first music album coming out soon.
What?
And it's-
What's the
I
song?
can guarantee I know the genre, but I'm not gonna say.
And it ain't rap because the last time I rapped Austin off, yeah, I ended him quick.
So
Okay,
what's
dude.
your genre? What's your genre, man, of music here?
It's particularly more badass music. Badass. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
So it's classic rock then, because that's killer music, right?
Is it like based off a rap from Eminem or something?
No, it's like old school Kid Rock, Limp Bizkit.
I mean, it's
Good
better.
to
It's
know.
better than Eminem, but whatever.
Oh, what's wrong? What's wrong with Eminem? Excuse me, I'm the one who came on here rapping Austin, and he can't even respond to me.
Dude, I don't listen to that.
Poor kid.
I don't listen to that stuff, man. I mean, I
Poor-
know who Slim Shady is. I mean, I've heard it before, but I don't listen to that on a even semi-regular basis, dude.
Austin is a poor kid. I'm betting he's eating so many Twinkies in one day.
Well, according to him, he's never even heard of one. Even though I mean, there's no way on planet Earth that you've never heard of a Twinkie when they're literally in Walmart, Kroger's, and every single store you could possibly be in. But according to him, he's never heard of a Twinkie before. I'm serious. That's exactly what Sports Talk with Austin said one time. You remember that, Jackson? He said he'd never heard of a Twinkie. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just no way you live in the U.S. of A. and have never heard of a Twinkie. It's just not even possible. But
Yeah, well, I could tell Austin is lying out of his teeth. He's lying. He's lying. He's lying.
I agree, Will. Twinkies
All
aren't
right,
like they
Kate,
used to be
30
better.
seconds,
They used to be
30
better.
seconds till we get to the next caller. Make them count.
Oh my god. Why am I even wasting my breath with these morons when I could be
You
hanging
like
out with the
coming
chicks?
on here, Caden, and you know it. You know it. You enjoy
Yeah.
it.
The only reason I come up on here is because there's too many morons that come on here. And the fact I'm the only one that's not a moron, well, I think that kind of clearly says, well,
I
Kaden,
don't
the
think
dude's a freak.
Godfather is a moron, Cade. He knows more about football than all three of us combined. All right, so
And I'm about to have 4 more natty rings in about, I don't know, maybe 5 years.
it's
So,
probably going to take until about 2080 on my clock.
So much later that
because-
we had to hire a new narrator. So,
well, that's
And no,
because
I don't
Alabama.
mean that legitimately, Buckeye fans, because it could be 2079.
Oh,
Well-
Austin, you know what? Hold on, Jackson. Austin wants to come up in here talk trash to me. Austin, I dare you to get up in here.
I don't want a rap battle, dude. I don't want to
Yeah.
hear a rap battle, man. Come on.
Yeah, let's
Austin, I want.
Nah.
well, Caden, we'll see you next Thursday. We're gonna get to our next caller. See you soon, good boy.
Hey, can we do a Saturday or Sunday show, because I want to absolutely get it on with Austin.
No.
And I mean, take that out of context. Take what he just said out of context. All right. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, we got our next caller, a good friend of Voice College Football Network, Will and D. How you doing tonight, good buddy?
What's up, guys?
Hey, Will,
How
we
you
got
doing
some
tonight?
normalcy back in the chat.
Yeah. So, what was your guys' reaction to Ty Simpson being named the starter? Like, I mean, it was probably expected.
Yeah, I
Well,
totally
when we-
expected.
Oh, yeah. When we heard it was 95% expected, that told us right then and there they were going to wait for the right time to name him as starting quarterback. So this Monday was the right time.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, the battle's still going on in South Bend. Like, I thought CJ was going to be named the starter, but it sounds like Kenny has a chance. But I mean, Kenny's more of a hybrid. Like, he's kind of, I mean, he's a bit of a Riley Leonard, but he's also, but the throwing's much better. So I would be fine if Kenny's the starter. Just whoever gives us the best chance, the Irish the best chance to win for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's the same with us. Like, if Keelan got the job, I was fine with that. You know, I didn't care either way. I just was thinking like upside with Keelan Russell, because I don't know what Ty Simpson's upside is, but I mean, if Ty Simpson's the best guy for the job right now, Keelan's not ready yet, and Ty Simpson leads us to 10-11 wins. That's all that matters to me. I don't care. I hope he does well. I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't bother me at all. But, yeah, it definitely seemed like, for the last couple months that he was going to win the job. And I guess, like Jackson said, DeBoer felt it was the right time to announce it. So.
Mm-hmm. But, so do you guys think that Brian Kelly, do you think even with the buyout, they'll still let Kelly go if they do go 7-5 or worse?
If it's 6-6, yeah, I mean, I think he's cooked. I mean, I would not see, judging by what LSU did with Ed O, winning the title, which again, that team was insane. But and then after that, they immediately got rid of him after that. Brian Kelly was brought in to basically have LSU at a level that they were making the playoffs and they were winning SEC championships on a regular basis. Now that the playoffs is even easier to reach, and LSU's not even at that level, yet they're ranked there right now. But does anybody really believe that this LSU team is going to finish ranked?
I just don't think their O-line's great. So
I don't think they're going to finish in the top 10. And if you are correct, if their O-line's not great, that does not bode well for a guy like Nussmeier. So LSU under Brian Kelly has always had roster problems all over. They don't have a complete roster. Yeah, it's not Auburn bad, no, but they have issues. They plug their defense and their offense has problems. Their offense is good, then their defense has problems. They never have a complete team, and their roster, every roster has some hole. Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia, they all have some weakness, but LSU's got several all over the field, and it's at different times in different years, and they can't get it figured out.
Mm-hmm. I mean, when he was at Notre Dame, there was either a bad offensive coordinator or a bad defensive coordinator.
There's always something wrong. They just
there was always something wrong.
They don't have the 2019 season where everything was good. That year everything was good. The coordinators, the players, it all worked out. Since that season, it's just all been downhill and just inconsistent for LSU.
But I was watching Irish Breakdown. I sent them a chat do you think that they'll let him go? And they're like, well, if they do let him go, he'll negotiate a cheaper buyout, so they say he doesn't get fired. It'll be a parting of ways, but he gets less money because he just doesn't want to be known as a guy that got fired.
Honestly, I think parting ways is the dumbest thing on planet Earth. It's like Indiana. Oh, they parted ways with Mike Woodson. They fired Mike Woodson.
Yeah.
They told Mike Woodson to leave because he was so bad. But it's they parted ways. Who cares? The end result is the same. You got rid of him. He's gone. It'd be different to say part ways if there's a legitimate reason, okay, this guy, he's old, he's still doing good, but but usually in that regard they would say steps down, he steps down. But parting ways, it's you're getting fired. It's still a pink slip. It's just
It's just a nice, sweet way of.
Who cares? It's not nice and sweet. It's not nice. You're getting rid of it.
They make it sound sweet and nice. Just to make
back in the 90s, I can guarantee you, 90s and earlier, there were no parting of ways. You got fired. Bill Mallory got fired, even though we had some of the best success in Indiana football history up to that point. He got fired. They got rid of him. They didn't know part ways. Bill Mallory still liked Indiana, even after that.
Now he tells me.
Yeah. Seriously, dude. Fired is fired. Parting ways is just dumb. It's really dumb.
Man, that 1960, speaking of Bill Mallory, man, that 1968 Ohio State staff was so loaded.
Good Lord.
Oh, yeah.
That might have been the best coaching staff ever.
Well, Chris Camp, I think you'll be happy to. You won't hear too much about Ohio State, Michigan. Not on here tonight.
Not on here.
Yeah, I don't normally talk about those teams until we're provoked, and then which is pretty frequently by certain people. But I don't mind talking about those teams. But there are other teams to talk about.
It's just funny, man. I wonder if his daughter. I haven't followed his daughter's TikToks, but it'd be funny if she did another TikTok when he got fired.
How do you feel about this, Will? I make better music than Will and D.
I might have to make a rap for Caden.
Oh, God.
Why is it always got to be a rap? Can't you diss somebody with some other genre?
I could do slam poetry. I don't know, man. Like whatever.
I don't know. I'm just like everybody when there's like insults, it's always a rap battle. I just wonder why you can't have like let's have some heavy metal, man. Like let's get some really nice like classic heavy metal. That could be a nice battle. So,
I mean, listen. People don't like Brian Burks, but like, I mean, I met Brian in real life at a tailgate. He was cool. Like, he knows his stuff. He may be like a bit of a weirdo on the internet sometimes, but he knows his stuff. But Jackson's it guy. What is the bare minimum for Auburn? Like, I want to know from Auburn fans because, like, I don't even know what's like. It's a chaotic situation there, man. I don't know. Like, I think I think he has to be Baylor or all hell breaks loose there in the play.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of like when Scott Frost lost to Northwestern. You know what I'm saying? It's like it was over. Especially how they lost.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you're right. Like they lose to Baylor, then yeah. I mean, you're probably done. You're probably cooked.
The only thing that could save them is if Deuce Knight like becomes their DJ Lagway.
Do you think that's possible? Like, could it happen? I think Lagway was more ready, like more.
Yeah, I agree. That's the problem with Deuce.
Yeah, it just feels like it's too little, too late for Freeze. You know, I mean,
yeah. I think that's the reason. Part of the reason why he didn't go to. He went to Auburn instead of Notre Dame. Like, you'd have a chance to start early, but he's just not ready. And like they said, he wasn't a very mature guy.
Yeah,
in the recruiting.
I mean, to be a starting quarterback in the SEC, Big Ten, Notre Dame, that type of level, you have to kind of be mature. You know, you kind of have to be mature. You can't be immature and be the leader of a team because the quarterback's the leader. You know, it's like being a middle linebacker. You're like the leader of the defense, a leader of a defense or offense. They have to really be mature to basically command. You know, you're not commanding because it's the coach's job, but you're still like on the field anyway, commanding the team, and you're leading by example, probably off the field as well. It's like usually freshmen aren't all that ready for that.
Yeah,
usually they're just not.
What do you think about?
Caden says we're talking too much crap. I mean, honestly, what did we said? I mean, Auburn sucks. I think that's accurate. I think that's okay. Can we all agree on that?
Yeah.
Sorry, Auburn fans, but Auburn sucks. They are bad. I'm with Alabama Richie. I would be perfectly fine with them getting better. I would be perfectly fine with them getting more competitive as long as we beat them.
We look good.
But if we beat them when they're good, then that's great. The fact that we've barely beaten them the last couple times in Jordan-Hare when Auburn's been bad, it's like we've barely beaten them. That makes us look terrible. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Auburn's like a top 10 team and we go to Jordan-Hare and win, then that looks better. It looks way better.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, man. Well,
there's plenty of toilet papers in stock in Lee County. Plenty.
Oh, yeah.
So let me ask you a question. Well, I got to ask you a question on this. It said, first off, it also says Jeffrey, rap is hip. So how is rap hip when rap literally came out like 50 years ago? You know what I'm saying? It's literally like as old is almost as old as rock. So it's like, if rock is outdated and dead, then how is rap not dead either? They're literally basically almost just as old.
I mean, I feel like rap isn't in a great spot right now, honestly.
Rock and rap are kind of dead. You've got all this like EDM.
I mean, there's some good rap, like that Clips album that came out. That was awesome, but
yeah.
Besides that and the Kendrick album, I mean, the new Tyler album, it wasn't really. It was more like EDM. It wasn't even that much rap. So.
Yeah,
Spurs. I know who he is.
I just think like most modern music just sounds like crap. But that's just my opinion.
I might have to take you to a concert. If you come up, I might have to take you to a concert Friday night that I was considering going to. So we'll see.
All right, man. Well, that would be exciting. Even though I probably wouldn't care for the music, but I would listen. Whatever it would be. What would it be? What would it be?
Chris Lake.
Okay.
His new album. He's going on tour.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah. Well,
Well,
yeah, AI will make it worse, the real. AI will make it worse. AI singles. I mean, man, mostly what I need, I just need some good classic rock, dude. I can listen to that all day. That's good music. It's good music. I mean, the singing's incredible. The riffs are incredible. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. I think that is the best music. I don't know, man. I don't care for new music. I don't really care for it. I think most new music sucks. I ain't saying all, but I think most of it sucks.
All right, I'll try to change your mind.
Yeah, well, maybe that concert will, but I don't know. I don't know, man.
All right,
well, we will be seeing you later. We'll definitely
sure.
see you next Thursday. Well, we definitely could see you before then. So you have a good night, sleep well, and stay safe. Stay away from that miserable
You have a
heat.
great night, Will. Appreciate you for coming on.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Alrighty, and we got one of our YouTube members of Alabama with the Voice of College Football, Zachary Wilges. How you doing tonight, good buddy?
I'm doing good, Jackson and Jeffrey. How are y'all doing tonight?
Oh, we're
Doing
doing
good.
fantastic,
Appreciate it.
man. What's on your mind
That's
tonight,
good.
man?
And I'm excited for this Alabama season. I'm ready for the season to get started. I'm ready to whoop up on some Florida State.
Same. I'm ready to see that game. And Thomas
Yes, because
Castellano's been running his mouth too much.
Yeah, I really hope that
yes,
we somehow destroy them so Castellanos can never speak about Alabama again. Like, never.
I love the
uh,
confidence he's got in his team. Don't
I
get me
like the
wrong.
confidence too, but I mean, to me, I think you should have saved that till after you beat Alabama.
Oh, yeah.
right. Or said it in the locker room, but not on an interview on three where millions of people are going to hear it and roast you for it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, if they get blown out, if they lose like 48-10, I mean, he's cooked. I mean, everybody's gonna take his statement. Everybody's gonna remember his statement because on the internet, people remember everything when they choose to remember it, and they'll choose to remember that, and it's game over. And I mean, his
But they
confidence
can't
will
hide it
floor.
from me.
So his confidence will go on the floor, and probably Florida State's entire season will be cooked from there.
Oh yeah, yeah, and all these Ohio State fans can go on somewhere. They need to go on just because you won a national championship in a week playoff does not mean or does not give you the right to brag and boast and pound your chest. We all know that that playoff was not uh, filled with elite teams. You know, it had SMU, who was not an elite team, was barely made it in. You had Boise State, who got in because they didn't play. They played mediocre group of five talent. I mean, their best player or their only player that would ever make it to the NFL, Ashton Gentry, isn't even really an NFL player. He just looked so good because he played for a weak team, in a weak conference, and so let let's just move on to this year. Get away from that.
Yeah, and again, I will repreface, as I've said tons of times before, if they did not expand the playoffs, then Ohio State would not even have been in the thing. So they wouldn't even be able to win. That's what's so funny. Them expanding the playoffs is why they won. Is why they won a title. They would not have made a 14 playoff when they lost to Michigan. And then I've heard some Ohio State fans say, though, I have heard this. They're like, oh, well, if it was a 14 playoff, we wouldn't have lost to Michigan. We would have beat them. And it's like, okay, we will never know that because you didn't beat them and you lost and you were not going to make a 14 playoff. It's like the fact they lost that game and then turned around and won the whole thing is what's so irritating about that, because it's like,
right,
all these Ohio State fans, the ones there are some Ohio State fans I really like. They know who they are. They're great guys, but a lot of Ohio State fans like, oh well, we were the best team, and it just took a while to figure it out. It's like, all right, that game is why you won it all, because literally Ron Day knew that he was cooked. All right, he was cooked. He was done. Everyone wanted him fired, and they locked in. That's what happened. They locked in because they went out there and blew everybody out. In the season, they barely beat Nebraska. They lost to Michigan. They had a lot of rough moments. When they lost that game and Ron Day's hot seat was building, then they started steamrolling everybody, as Caden would say, in the playoffs. And they did. They blew everybody out. But that does not happen if there's a 14 playoff, and that does not happen if they don't lose to Michigan. And if Ron Day wasn't on the hot seat. Because he was.
Right.
It's just irritating because that just completely changes the narrative. But there's nothing we can do about it. We live in this college football world where we have to listen about Ohio State and their eliteness now because they won, in a playoff that it should have never been expanded, but I'm not in control of that. So,
Facts. I don't even think there should have been a playoff. In my opinion, I think the BCS system should have stayed in effect, but that's just my opinion on it. And, maybe I'm wrong, but who can? I mean, it's my opinion, and I'm allowed to have my opinion.
Oh, absolutely. Everybody's allowed to have their opinion for sure.
Here we
I
go.
voiced mine on here, and a lot of people don't agree with it, but that's why we're on here. As we all have our opinion. We're all different. But go ahead, Jackson.
Oh, we got a $4.99 super sticker from the Godfather, the SEC. We appreciate that very much.
Appreciate it, Godfather.
Applause for Godfather, man. There we go. We always appreciate super chat contributions to the channel as it helps it grow, getting it rocketed rolling for the season, man. Oh man, I forgot what we were talking about for a moment.
The playoffs.
Playoffs.
And we know if Georgia was the elite team they been or say they are, Notre Dame would have never made it to the national championship game last year either. They would have lost in the second round, and then we wouldn't have all this Marcus Freeman discussion. Not congratulations to Notre Dame for making the national championship game and all that, and beating a Georgia team that ultimately, talent-wise, had a way better roster than them, but they proved everybody wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, definitely nothing you could do about the fact that Georgia was in the shape they were in. Honestly, and it is my opinion too. I still honestly don't think Georgia was all that good, even when fully healthy last year. I don't think they were that good. It was a weak year for Georgia, and this year could be weak too. That their roster has holes. They have issues.
Right.
If it was Georgia from 2-3 years ago, they'd easily beat Notre Dame, no question. But they should have never made the playoffs. Again, 14 playoff they wouldn't have. But they should have not even made the 12-team playoff. They should have lost to Georgia Tech. Right. Absolutely should have lost to Georgia Tech. It should not have been in the playoffs. And everybody overlooks that because it's Georgia and it's Kirby. And they're like, oh, well, Georgia belongs. No, they didn't. They were not a very good team last year. And when Carson Beck got hurt, it just completely ended any chance they had. But even if he was healthy, I really, really don't think they'd have beat Notre Dame. I don't, but that's my opinion. I agree with you, though. A normal Georgia, most years under Kirby, they beat Notre Dame. But not this past year. Notre Dame was very fortunate that somehow Riley Leonard made it the entire season. I didn't think that was going to happen. Because Riley Leonard's been hurt all the time. He somehow stayed healthy, and that was the only reason and them losing Northern Illinois. Honestly, I really feel that helped them too, because it woke them up. Because that should have never happened. Clearly, Notre Dame is better than the team they lost to Northern Illinois. They played a lot better later on down the rest of the season. But yeah, Notre Dame was not the greatest final opponent Ohio State could have had. But how many teams could beat Ohio State the way Ohio State was playing after they lost to Michigan? That's the problem. Because after they lost to Michigan, they played better. They played so much better that who could have beat them? Alabama's not beating them. We're not beating them the way they played in the playoffs. Absolutely not. Tennessee got cooked. Oregon got cooked. Everybody got cooked against Ohio State. Texas, everybody. It wouldn't have happened, unfortunately, no matter who played them, because they were by far the most locked in team in the playoffs. There was no one that had a shot.
Facts.
And it sucks. It sucks as the way that it is.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Yeah, and everybody says Ohio State has this great defense or this great secondary. Ohio State don't have a great secondary. They have Caleb Downs, and that's it.
There you go.
So
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. Unfortunately, now we get how it feels to steal players. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're welcome, Steve. It's true, but you're welcome. It did pain me to say it, but you're welcome. But we see how it feels to lose guys. Like we took Jahmyr Gibbs from Georgia Tech. That type of stuff. We don't think about that. At Alabama, we don't think about that when we're taking players from other schools. It's okay when we do that because we're giving those guys a better opportunity to succeed at a high level. You see what Gibbs has done in the NFL. Would he have gotten noticed as much at Georgia Tech? Probably not. So it's like it benefited him. He got more NIL. He got a better opportunity, but we took him from Georgia Tech. That's why programs like Georgia Tech struggle so much to sustain success because they typically lose their best players to better programs. Well, we finally understand how that feels because we lost Caleb Downs to Ohio State. And it's like that used to never occur. If we lost players, it's because they had issues. Either they weren't good enough to play or they have locker room issues, off the field issues. Saban's doghouse, we know that with certain players. Jaleel Billingsley, it's happened before.
Right.
It's like you're done. You're gone. Just get out of the program, right? That's when we lost guys. Now we're like everyone else. We can lose anybody if somebody else offers a better deal. And that's clearly what happened with Caleb Downs. I know people are like, well, save it. Okay. I agree that played a part. Saban retiring played a part, but I do believe Ohio State offered him a better NIL deal as well. Otherwise, why would he have left? He was a starting safety at Alabama. Why would he leave otherwise? It's, I get, like Justice Haynes, I understand it. We didn't really utilize our running backs as much as we used to in the past. Michigan's also got a lot of NIL, but, Michigan could offer probably like, hey, we're going to use you more than Bama did. But Downs, there's just no excuse. There's absolutely no excuse at all, but it's the world we live in now. We can even lose our best players, unfortunately.
Well, Zachary,
yeah, and
anything else you got for us tonight?
To finish off.
Is your internet okay, man? Oh,
Yeah,
man,
it is cutting in and out. I live out in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Normally it don't, but tonight it's cutting in and out tonight.
That sucks. My internet's always cutting in and out too on a lot of shows, unfortunately.
Yeah, but to kind of bounce off before I hop off over here, kind of bounce off about Caleb Downs. Caleb Downs' dad had a lot to play with that too, because when Saban retired, his dad looked him in the face and said, "You're going to Ohio State," and with the NIL deal that Ohio State offered him, it helped it smooth that part of it. His dad forcing him to go there, it helped it smooth that part of it over.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, there was a similar situation. What that guy we did a recruiting watch party, Jackson. That guy from Hawaii, wasn't it Malachi Lee? But it was like his family, a lot of his family wanted him to go to Michigan. It's just. It seems like a lot of these families are involved these days with recruitments, which nothing wrong with that, I guess. If a lot of people don't like it because they call them helicopter parents, but it is what it is. It's just, I don't know. I think that if your family's that much involved with your recruitment, you got to go where they want you to go because it's going to be a whole lot worse if you make your parents mad, So
Right. I mean, he disobeyed his dad his freshman year, and went to Bama. He couldn't disobey him again, with Saban leaving. His dad didn't get mad at him because it was Saban, but when Saban left, it's like, okay, I got to listen to my dad now. I got to, go to where he wants me to go, kind of thing.
absolutely.
So, and it sucks, but, you can, I mean, there's nothing we can do.
Absolutely. I mean, there's nothing we can do about it. I mean, you're going to lose guys these days, whether it's parents, whether it's NIL. So it's just nothing we can do. And I hate it because, Alabama had such a standard of essentially losing nobody. We never lost anybody good. If a guy left, it was for a reason. But yeah, we are not the new Tennessee.
Don't say that.
We are not the new Tennessee, man.
Don't
like,
say
no.
that.
Do you even know what you're talking about right now?
Oh,
Tennessee, the team that when
just one
Lane
question.
Kiffin left, they wanted Phil Fulmer back. Okay.
Oh God.
Are you kidding me? They wanted Phil Fulmer back.
Sucked.
So no, like the Tennessee.
Phil Fulmer.
The Tennessee fan base, the Tennessee University, like their football program is 1,000 times worse than Alabama. Okay, I'm sorry.
But they have Bobby
sorry,
Hill
Tennessee
Riz,
fans, but that's just facts.
Oh man. Oh my God, this is so funny. It's like Alabama, New Tennessee. Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Oh man. Yeah.
Oh man. Well, Zach, we will definitely.
All right, I'm gonna hop off.
Yeah, we'll see next Thursday. Like, we enjoy your calls, good buddy.
And we appreciate
All
it,
right,
Zach.
man.
Appreciate you coming on.
Holler. Oh yeah, holler at y'all later.
Holler at you later, good buddy. See you soon. And up next we got Bert's on the line. How you doing tonight, good buddy?
Hey, what's up, man? Dude, I'm just so happy over the news today, man. Like, you don't understand this Connor Stallion crap. It just made me go insane, and man, it's amazing, dude. Like, what I'm hearing. So it seems that we're not getting any vacated wins. We're not getting any bowl ban. We're not getting any, and I predicted that right. I predicted there wouldn't be any of that, but what I did predict was I felt maybe Sharon Moore could have gotten a bigger suspension, but even then, that suspension is not going to be huge. It might be just 2 games plus the other 2 games. So it's going to be 4 games. And then I did say $10 million fine, but I think it could be 14. It could be more. We'll see. But 12 o'clock tomorrow, man. It's going to be a big day, huge day. And I can't believe I'm saying this, dude, because you don't understand, man. Like, I feared, I became a Michigan fan, Jackson and Jeffrey, in 2012, right? Like, I was a University of Michigan fan in 2010, but I didn't start watching their football until 2012. And I started watching all their games in 2013. But, from 2012 to 2020, dude, those were some of the worst years, Jackson, Jeffrey. Like, we won no major bowl games.
It all culminated with that loss to Indiana in 2020.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was bad, dude. Like, we didn't win any Big Ten title, no beating OSU, no like New York Six bowl game, right? Like, it was terrible. Like, I'm telling you, dude, I don't think anybody in the Michigan community was a fan 2012 from 2020. And if they were, man, they like congrats on them, but like it was just bad years, man. And it made me go so crazy because I had stuff in my brain that was like, maybe the title could get vacated, all this. It made me go crazy. But my prediction was it wasn't going to happen. But, it was like, you waited so long, dude. Because, I'm not going to lie, dude. 2020, right? That year, when the COVID year, when we were 2-4,
when I was on, I had Twitter back then, and most of the Michigan fan base didn't feel like Michigan was ever going to compete. You know, like
Yeah, everyone wanted Harbaugh gone
yeah,
that season. I remember 2-4 Michigan, lost to Indiana. It's like, okay, Harbaugh needs to go. And that's why I laughed at all the Michigan fans when they won the title, last year. It was like, all right, Harbaugh, please don't leave for the NFL. We know you're going to leave for the NFL, but please don't leave for the NFL. Like, we want you to stay. And I'm like, yeah, and you wanted him fired. I laugh at teams that do this.
Yeah, I know.
I do. I laugh at Ohio State for Ron Day. Oh my gosh, he needs to be fired after the Michigan loss. I laughed at Michigan. Is there fans and there are some Michigan fans that deny it and say, okay, I didn't want him fired after 2-4. Yes, you did.
No,
yes,
I wanted him fired.
I was there. I was alive. I was there, and I saw it. And you all wanted him fired.
Dude. Yeah, I wanted him, dude. I wanted him gone too, and I was wrong. I took it
most, not you, most. I'm saying it as a vast majority. Okay, not all, not even all Ohio State fans wanted Ryan Day gone.
Yeah, I knew he was gonna. This is why I put this discussion for a reason, so Moose can talk.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. When I'm saying something like that, I'm not saying every single Michigan fan out there. I'm saying the vast majority wanted Harbaugh gone. The vast majority wanted Ryan Day gone.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
Yeah. But no, basically, I'm not going to lie, dude. In 2020, I really felt like I just didn't feel like Michigan would ever win a championship. And then I was wrong. The greatest, year 2021 was what made Michigan football fun to watch again. And then, 2022 and 3, it was the best sports moments of my life. And I just, I just got frustrated to the point where what if Connor Stalions is the reason why our titles get vacated? I didn't predict it would happen, but what if, So it made me go crazy. But I'm just so happy, man. It's great to, this made me go crazy, bro. Like, this made me become the most hated Michigan. This Connor Stalions crap, Jeffrey and Jackson, made me become the most hated Michigan fan on YouTube, Like, you don't understand. You know what? And, kudos to you guys for taking in people like me and Caden, We found our kudos to you guys, really. We have a home because of you guys, all right? We are the most hated fans in our fan base. And you guys just come and take us. Hey, you're open, welcome to come, So yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome, Burks. I mean, we bring everybody on here. It's an Alabama college show, but we bring one and all here, as long as you don't break the YouTube rules, we allow people on here. You're good, Burks. You at Caden. I mean, Cade says we hate his guts. I don't hate his guts. I don't hate Cade's guts. I just call him out on his crap.
Rule. Bro, that guy breaks every rule. He literally says bad stuff about you guys literally on the chat. So I don't know what.
Yeah, I mean, he's talking about Panama City and jump, man, and they're and all that. I mean, I'll leave it at that. But he talks about all that stuff. I mean, I don't think that's gonna get us demonetized. So it's like, YouTube's laxed on the rules a little bit. Recently, they've even allowed it where you can say a certain word in the first 5 minutes of the video. So it's like, all right, yeah.
Do you remember that Michigan Alabama game in 2019 where Shea Patterson was just so bad and you guys ran up the score on us? You remember that game? Cypress Hill? Yeah, that game was bro. After watching that game, I felt like, man, I had lost actually hope for Michigan, to tell you the truth, And
Shea Patterson was so bad,
dude. He frustrated everybody. Shea Patterson,
like Kay McNamara was not great, but at least he was tolerable. Something about Shea Patterson, dude, he was just terrible. I don't know if it's because the teams weren't as good back then. I don't know, but he was horrible. And I remember watching the guy a couple of years ago in the Canadian Football League because I turned that on one time and he was playing it and he still sucked. No offense, Shea Patterson, if you're watching, I doubt it. But if you're watching, I'm not trying to mean anything Jeffrey, horrible, man. But you were not good. You were not good.
Dude. Yeah, and the crazy part is he had so much dude, he was the #1 recruit in his class that 2016.
That's what made it so bad. When you're it's like Underwood. If Underwood struggles, the Shea Patterson comparisons are going to be happens.
Oh yeah,
you know?
no, he'll get some brutal, and he's not going to struggle under Wood because I have so much. Like I have Michigan going 10-2. That's my final prediction. You know, preseason automatically we're going to beat Oklahoma, and you know I think our only losses could be like either USC. I feel like USC, Ohio State, and I don't know what the other team would be, but I feel some upset game. But yeah, no, Shea Patterson was just terrible. Like it was bad. And
Where did Shea Patterson transfer from? Was it like Ole Miss?
Ole Miss.
It was
Yeah,
Ole
Ole
Miss.
Miss,
I
yeah.
remember that. I remember that.
Oh yeah, Jeffrey, I have a question for you. Do you think JJ McCarthy's overrated at Michigan?
I mean, I think JJ McCarthy was what Michigan needed.
Okay, all right, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm a JJ McCarthy. You can even ask Moose. I'm a JJ McCarthy hater, right?
He was what Michigan needed at the time to get it done.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Listen, I'm a JJ McCarthy hater, but I'll tell you right now, he is way better than Shea Patterson and Caden.
Yes.
Like that's for sure.
Michigan hasn't had great quarterbacks lately. I mean,
No,
they're not
they're not
Auburn bad, but they have not had great quarterbacks.
Jake Rudock was good, actually. People don't realize it, but if you watch Jake Rudock, that was the first quarterback of Jim Harbaugh. He's actually, it's crazy. He's actually trying to be a doctor, and I know a person who's in med school with him. So after going to the NFL, he is now trying to be a doctor at Michigan, which is like really dope. That's good for him.
But
yeah, Jake Rudock is, he was a quarterback that I really loved a lot. He transferred from Iowa to Michigan, but okay. So JJ McCarthy is okay. So you're not going to really talk if he's overrated or not. God. Yeah.
Well, Bert's, we're going to get to our next caller tonight. And then afterwards, we're going to get to the other caller, and we will definitely be seeing you soon, good buddy.
And we appreciate it, Burks. You have a great night.
Yeah, you too, my guys. Take care.
See you, Burks. But before we get to the our next caller, we got a super chat from Caden the Diesel Freak, and these are Caden's words, not mine. But the best part about putting in super chats is if you want me to read it uncensored comments, put in it in a super chat. So Caden says Moose is a dummy, John is a jackass, and I called out those dummies, and it's annoying.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if anybody here knows who Scotty Kilmer is. He's like a car YouTuber. He's like an old guy, a mechanic, like 72 years old. If people know who I'm talking about, Scotty Kilmer, that is such a Scotty Kilmer title right there. I called out those dummies, and it's annoying. Like he'll say these car prices are insane, and I'm mad as heck. Like that. Those are the titles that he does. Or like this new $12,000 car is a steal, and it's like the car he's talking about costs like $40,000. It's like, what are you doing, dude? Scotty Kilmer. If anybody knows what I'm talking about. Yeah. That last part of that title, and I called out those dummies, and it's annoying. It's just so freaking funny.
Well, no worries, John. We love what you're doing on the Michigan channel, and you bring out all kinds of magic on the voice of college football, man. So no worries, but we love what you're doing.
Yeah, we appreciate it, John. Appreciate everybody that's in the chat tonight. It's been a great show so far. We're not done yet. Absolutely.
Oh. And we appreciate the super chat contribution from Caden the Diesel Freak. We appreciate the fact that, especially that he got out of bed and gave us that super chat. We appreciate it very much.
Yeah, didn't have his 5-month hiatus that everybody was talking about either. He decided to come back early. We knew he would. We knew he couldn't stay away.
Oh man. Well, we've got 8 minutes of callers, so we're going to go with the real MVP, and after that, Ben Baller. How you doing tonight, good buddy?
Hey, how are you two gentlemen doing this evening?
Doing great, Drill.
It's been an interesting show so far.
Yeah, absolutely interesting.
Yeah, there's been a wide cast of characters, I guess, as one could say. Just to wrap up what Burks was somewhat saying, here's my prediction for if the Michigan hammer, however big or small, or if it's a toy hammer or a real hammer, who knows, drops. Whatever the punishment is, Michigan will say they got off scot-free, slap on the wrist. Whatever the punishment is, Ohio State will say, it dropped, the hammer finally dropped. That regardless, it could be literally a 1-game suspension or it could be the SMU level death penalty, and they'll both say that because it's partisan at this point. And when it's partisan, people aren't able to think. And unfortunately,
Is
we need
anything
people.
between Michigan and Ohio State not partisan at this point?
I know. That's a good question, and I think the answer is no.
There's no common ground. There's no common
Well,
ground.
I can think of one thing. I can think of a political thing. They'd vote for the same guy.
Every time I'm
well,
thinking of the
anything
hammer,
on the field related, there's no partisan.
oh man! Every time I'm thinking of the hammer, I think about that Fisher Price hammer. That's what I keep thinking about. Like I want to see the Fisher Price hammer. Like I want to see that, man. But before we continue with our next point, John Diamo says, "Tell your friends, your family, and the Cashier's Pub's got the magic that Jats and Jeffrey bring for the Alabama Call-In Show." Agreed. Tune in. You won't want to miss it. Thursday nights, all right here on Alabama Voice College Football. We appreciate the promotion, John, and tell everyone about the magic that John's creating Tuesday nights, all right there on Michigan Wolverines.
Michigan Moose says Michigan lives rent-free in your head to real. First thing you said when he got on Mark's show was Michigan. I mean, can you really help not talking about these teams when they're always being talked about? That's the
I don't
thing.
remember talking about Michigan during the last time I talked to Mark, but we were talking about playoff predictions, and I brought the question up to him, and I'll bring it up to you all. A 9-3 LSU team that beats Clemson head-to-head versus a 10-2 Clemson team that doesn't make the ACC title. There's only one spot left in the playoff at large. Which team gets in? And I was debating this back and forth. I think they would pick Clemson, them, but I feel like LSU has the overwhelming case. What's your thoughts, Jeffrey?
I want to hear Jackson's thought first before I say.
Fair.
Oh man, what was the question again? I was getting a water. Sorry about that.
9-3 LSU with the win at Clemson, or a 10-2 Clemson team that doesn't make the ACC title game. Which team would you select in the playoffs as an at-large?
The 9-3 LSU team to go to the playoffs? No.
I mean, the thing is, you're pinning me in a corner.
Who's LSU?
Because who's the better team? Who's the better team?
This is interesting. I'll tell you what Mark said after this, but this is interesting. Jeffrey, what do you thought? I don't want to hear questions. I want to hear an answer to my question.
Who's the better team? Probably talent-wise, LSU maybe, but I don't respect LSU. Okay, I don't respect LSU because I don't think they're any good. Okay, for the program they claim to be, I think they are a good team because they've got talent, but compared to what they're supposed to be and what they, NIL and the fan support they have and what they should be, they're not. So, I would want to lean Clemson. But, Clemson's not what they used to be. Are you talking about, like, this year? You're talking about, like, if this was this year? Or is this, like, a past scenario?
No, this year.
I'm going Clemson. I'm still going Clemson, man. I'm sorry. I know the ACC's trash, but I gotta go with Clemson. Just by a little bit.
And when I told Mark this, he acted like it was stupid for me, but based off of the vibe, to even bring it up. He said LSU, no doubt, I would check mark it off and not even think about it.
Really?
Yes, that's really what he said. It's on videotape. Luckily, it's on the internet.
Dude. No way. Like, I said Clemson by, like, hair, dude. I would not pick LSU. No. I can't even begin to even put my mind that LSU should be in the playoffs at 9-3. No. If Alabama didn't get in at 9-3.
This is true. And they
LSU should not get in at 9-3. Clemson literally just got in with 2 losses. I understand that your scenario is that they don't make the AC title game. Now, I will say.
And LSU has a head-to-head win.
I will say that the likelihood of that happening is like nil. Because if Clemson's 10-2 with a loss to LSU, all right, then that would mean that they only have one ACC loss. Theoretically, they could have 0 ACC losses if their other losses to South Carolina. So, yeah, that's not going to happen. I know it's a hypothetical, but I'm just saying that won't happen.
Well, when I was thinking of the ACC standings, I've got a major clump at the top between Miami, Louisville, who's the Clemson, and I want to say Duke is the other team at like 7-1, 6-2, and Georgia Tech as well. So I got a massive clump in there. So I've got Miami beating Louisville and Louisville beating Clemson, and then Clemson losing down on the tiebreaker. Because
I guess that could happen. I guess.
Right. I'm just not
likely.
sold that this Clemson team is this elite team that's going to barnstorm everybody. I'm just not sold on this being a reality. It's very possible, in my opinion, they finished unranked. Their best win last year was against the 7-6 Pitt team. I mean, they're not good.
Even in the years that Clemson won the national championship, they didn't really have a lot of good wins. I mean, let's be real.
Fair enough. But my interest. Next time you talk to Mark Jeffrey, I want you to, this could be a topic of debate or conversation. You would explain the Clemson side. He would go to the LSU side, because I think this is more likely. It's not unfactable.
You thought I was going to say Clemson, didn't you?
I thought you were going to say LSU.
Yeah, I mean, it would depend. My thing is, if I know this is cop out, but if I saw the season, like this season happens and this scenario actually occurred, it would depend on how LSU looked. But I'm just going off past history of watching LSU since the championship year, 2019. They don't deserve anything. They don't deserve squat. To me, of getting anywhere near the playoffs unless they're 10-2, And I hope they lose to Clemson. I really do. I hope they lose, man. Keep that streak going if they can't win an opener. But I don't want to be too biased. Sorry, LSU fans. Your team kind of sucks. But yeah, I would put Clemson probably by a hair. I would, but yeah, I mean, Mark would disagree with me hard. He would. And then he'd probably find a way to make me change my mind. He would. But I would rather Clemson. But I guess you can make an argument for LSU, I guess, especially with the head-to-head. Really, the head-to-head would be the thing is, I don't care about the head-to-head though, because it's a week 1 game. I don't care. Like, just say Clemson looks way better at the end of the year than LSU does. That's more what I care about, is how you're playing at the end of the year. Because if that's what they care about, Florida State didn't make the playoffs because of the fact that Jordan Travis got hurt and they left out an undefeated team. All right, so it's more about how you're performing at the end of the year. If LSU starts out really good and then falls apart down the stretch, and then Clemson's playing their best football at the end of the year, I would put in Clemson. I don't care about that head-to-head that much when it's an early game. I felt Alabama was better than Texas that year, that Texas beat Alabama, because Alabama played better down the stretch than Texas did. Texas had that Oklahoma loss. They barely beat several crummy Big 12 teams, whereas Alabama beat Georgia in the SEC title game, was playing a lot better. That's my opinion. I think it's how you are playing down the stretch. Head-to-head shouldn't mean as much really in the beginning of the season. I don't know how you agree with that or not.
Oh, well, we got another super chat from Caden the Diesel Freak, where he says to John, John, get lost because I'll destroy you anytime on YouTube. You'll cry to your mama, who's a corn star named Kendra Lust, so get lost. I don't know who she is, and frankly, it sounds like
Burks is informing us of who she is, but I don't think that actually helps us in any way, shape, or form for this show. I don't think so. I don't see how that information helps us. We kind of need some football information. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Well,
I was going to say, if we could talk a bit about Alabama real quick, since that is what the show's about.
We forget about that sometimes, but thanks, Thrill.
Yeah, no problem. Jeffrey, if you want to, I would like to see you, because you haven't been on Mark's show a while, just give you point of debate. Something to bring up would be interesting. Intellectual battles are always fun. Naming Ty Simpson the quarterback feels like something that Nick Saban wanted to. Even though everyone knows it, Nick Saban wait literally to the final seconds, not announce it at all, and everybody be like, "Oh, he's going to start." But it feels like Kalen DeBoer is more reserved, calm, laid back, more open to the media. Is this, to me, this is one of the starkest changes in the offseason between him and Saban.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, the thing is like I said earlier in the show, I don't know if you were watching Drill at the beginning of the show, but we talked about this earlier, and my response was I don't care when the quarterback is announced. I don't think it matters. People make way too much of a deal about the announcement of a starting quarterback. All that matters is who trots out on the field, August 30th. That's what matters. So if Ty Simpson is the starting quarterback against Florida State, and the first series, it's him out there. That's what matters. Why does it have to be announced? I'm not saying I'm against the announcement. I'm just saying that it doesn't matter. And too many people make way too big of a deal about it, in my opinion. I don't think it matters at all, because at the end of the day, what matters is who starts week 1 and who's your quarterback throughout the season. So I don't think it's dumb. I think it's overrated for people to care that much about it, but it is what it is. It's a talking point. The quarterback, most important position in most people's eyes, which that can be debated as well, but it's the most talked about position for sure. Gets the most hype, the quarterback. If you got a good quarterback, that's all people are going to talk about with your team. So, yeah, hey, Alabama, we're going to name our starting quarterback to let people know. It gives some people something to talk about. Ty Simpson, he's the guy. I don't think it matters, though. But that's just my thoughts.
Well, here we go. Well, anything else you got for us tonight, man?
Yeah. Or next week, you all going to be doing like predictions for like maybe Alabama, the conference, the landscape at large. Are you going to put out anything official, because we've got games starting up in just a few weeks?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we could do that.
We'll be good.
Theoretically, we could do that. I mean, I've done predictions with Will, and Jackson's done predictions, or like record predictions mainly for teams with Austin. But yeah, I mean, like, we could do stuff like that. I mean, I don't know how in depth we would do who's gonna win player of the year.
No,
Like
I'm just saying. I feel like we need to put some. It's time to put some pen to paper here. Everybody puts it out, and then everybody gets to make fun of us at the end of the year when we're completely wrong about everything.
Yeah, that will happen.
Yeah, the only thing I am pretty sure will happen is Thomas Castellanos in Florida State will be 4-8 or worse. That's the only thing I'm pretty sure is going to happen.
I was kind of rooting for Norvell, and I still really don't want Norvell to get fired. I got nothing against him. But after Castellanos said that, man, I'm just like, I'm done, dude. You deserve to get smoked. I mean, come on, dude.
Imagine being
you deserve to get smoked.
Imagine being so delusional that you get benched at Boston College, and then you get the opportunity of a lifetime to go and buy a marquee name brand, and then you're going to insult the number 1 program of all time in college football.
It makes no sense.
This guy's asking for like a 4-pick game. No, it'll be 0-4, 49 passing yards, and he gets benched in the fourth quarter because it's 48-3. I mean, it's going to be ugly.
I hope it is.
Right, and this game is so interesting. There's been no hype for it this entire offseason. Like, I was expecting
tried to hype it up. Like, I even put it as one of the best non-conference games. Right? Like, I lobbied for that game. When we me and Jackson Austin did that show for non-conference games, I was like, Alabama, Florida State. It's a top 10 game. It's got to be a top 10 game. But like you said, outside of fans of both teams, no one's really talking about this game. And I understand why, because of Florida State. But still, it's like, yeah, outside of Castellanos saying what he said, no one's really talking about it.
Right, I've seen more hype for Illinois, Indiana this offseason than I have Alabama, Florida State.
That's fair. Biggest game between those two schools ever, and it's going to be hopefully a big IU win in Bloomington. No field storm. We don't need it. We're good. But I mean, if they do it, it's fine. But
The
people make
field's
fun.
on come.
But I'm just saying, like, big win, man. I mean, I'm hoping IU has a great year. Everybody's like, oh, Indiana's going to fall off the map, whatever. But yeah, I want LSU to lose. I really try not to have a lot of bias, but you really just can't help it sometimes. You know, and I know Stephen Cherry's just going off right now. He's laughing so hard probably right now. But I want LSU to get destroyed against Clemson, and I want us to destroy Florida State. And throw in possibly Georgia Tech getting a really sizable win against Primetime because Colorado, that hype needs to go away. And other than that, I'm week one, I don't really care.
Have you seen Rec Talk? He's been going all in on the Georgia Tech Colorado stuff recently. And more power to him, man. He went all in on Florida State last year and he cashed out big time in terms of reputation. Final thing, I was wanting to mention this. It was part of my notes that I had. Is what about having red zone for SEC football? Apparently, Fox is because they just hate college football fun, I guess. They don't want the Big 10 and Big 12 to be a part of it. But man, you get to see all the key plays of Stanford, Cal while watching Alabama, Georgia. You know, that's what I like as a diehard fan. I can't be flipping between. I've got to sacrifice these mid to bad games. But now with this red zone idea, I won't be having to sacrifice them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, guys, it's been good talking to y'all. I look forward to seeing y'all
Always
next
fun talking with
Yeah,
you. Good
appreciate
buddy.
it, Drill. You have a great night. And yeah, maybe next week we'll do some predictions show. We'll see. We'll talk
Party.
about that.
Have a good one.
You have a good night, Drill.
And last but not least, we got Ben Baller, who is formerly known as King of the North, Go Blue, and I forget
What's good, fellas?
Oh, what's good, Ben? How you doing tonight, man?
Oh, just another day. A couple things I want to say. I want to talk about Alabama, but a couple things I want. Burke, I hate to break it to you, man. I know we don't know for sure what the punishment is, all right? We don't know that till tomorrow. They could come out with a curveball and hit us with everything they got. We don't know, man. So I would just relax for a second, all right? There's rumors, sure, but don't, because that's what you do, and then, now you're in a depressive state because they hit you with what you didn't see coming. That's first. Secondly, I got to echo this, man. And yes, I'm a hater. No doubt about it. I'm a hater, okay? Last year's had the weakest field since 07. I've been saying this. Last year's field was the weakest since 07. The championship game had one team that lost to Northern Illinois and another team that had two losses. One of them was to at the time, a 6-5 Michigan team with a quarterback that threw for 62 yards. Almost every team in the field last year was a shell of themselves. Georgia wasn't what they typically were. Alabama wasn't what they typically were. Texas was good. We go down the list. Most teams were a shell of themselves. They won a championship. Can't take it away from them. But when you compare other champions, they were one of the weakest ones. Okay, I hate to break it to the fans of that team, but yeah, Alabama, man. How you guys feeling about your team, man? I know. Jeffrey technically got two teams, so if they play each other, depending who's winning, he's probably going to switch out the hats. But anyways, how you feeling about Alabama, man?
Oh, I'm feeling pretty good.
I'm feeling good about Alabama. I think a lot of people are again panicking. Now, I don't even want to. Panicking is not the right word. It's just like, I don't know. It's a weird vibe around college football around Alabama among the fans, and then among everyone else, like Michigan fans, Ohio State fans, any other fan base in college football. A lot of people just think we're gonna fall off a cliff. That's been the main talking point among a lot of rival fan bases, that we're done. We're history. Alabama's going to fade to obscurity until they find another great coach in 20, 30 years. And then, among our fan base, we've got people that are worried, that don't think DeBoer's going to get the job done. And then you've got, people that are high on Alabama. I'm somewhere in between. I think that we're going to have a better year than last year. But I don't think still we're going to be back to where we were. That's going to take time. I don't even know if we can under DeBoer. I think that we can get close. I think we can get back to being an 11-1 type of team. My record prediction this year is 10-2. I think, Jackson, you said 10-2 as well. We both said 10-2. So I mean that's a step up if that occurs. So I would say I'm not
So who's the two
overly
losses?
positive, overly on the high end, but I'm not pessimistic either.
Well, who's the two losses?
Who did you say, Jackson? What were your two losses to?
I think I had them losing to Georgia and South Carolina, but yeah.
I think when I did my predictions with Will, I think Will said Georgia and Auburn. I think I was leaning more towards Georgia SC as well. I don't think we'll lose to Auburn.
No, I'm not as familiar with your team, but I'm actually high on Alabama, man. I think I like Kalen DeBoer. I thought he was a great hire. I still think he's going to be a great hire. Obviously, last season didn't go how you guys wanted. But that comes with the territory. When you had the greatest coach ever, any coach you get, it's like a kid that's spoiled, right? He's spoiled. He's got everything. Once life changes in any way that wasn't at that standard, fans are just going to be, they're not going to be happy about it. You guys could win 2 championships in the next 15 years. I guarantee a lot of Alabama's fan base will say that's not good enough. Guarantee it. Because you guys just ripped off 6 and how many? I mean, it's the way it goes. So, but anyways, I think you have a good season. I think mainly because of the quarterback. I think anything's an upgrade, honestly. Jalen Milroe, great athlete, but in terms of being able to actually be a passer at the level you need, I think anything's an upgrade. And Kalen DeBoer is a great offensive mind, and he knows what to do with quarterbacks. We've seen what he's done. That's my feeling. I think you'll beat Georgia, and the only reason I say that is because Kirby Smart has an Alabama problem. So it's like with Ryan Day in Michigan, right? Until Ryan Day beats Michigan, which I think it's not going to go forever. He could do it this year, but until you see it, you can't really pick a different outcome. So I'm picking Alabama to beat Georgia. That's just where I'm at with that.
Yeah, and definitely, obviously preseason predictions, I said 10-2 and had to pick 2 games. So it's like Georgia, South Carolina just kind of makes sense. But obviously when that part of the season comes, if we're looking better than them, I very well could pick Alabama to beat Georgia that week. It just depends. Because like you said, I agree that they have a Alabama problem. That's what Caden, doesn't understand when he talks about us getting our butts kicked against Georgia. And it's what a lot of Georgia fans don't understand is that Alabama has owned
Georgia fan? That you be talking about? This Caden guy?
Caden's an Ohio State fan, but he backs up Georgia to talk trash about us.
Weird, man. So he's an Ohio State fan who acts like he's a Georgia fan. Yeah, that's just weird.
It's so weird, Ben, because of the fact that after what happened in the Georgia-Ohio State game, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, so you think it's just salt? Like he's just salty about?
I don't know.
That don't make sense either, though, because I don't know, man. This is again hater talk. I think they're the weirdest fan base there is. That's just my opinion. They make excuses about everything, and we're all haters to some extent. That's part about being in sports. I would label them the king of haters. They just hate to hate, and they're crybabies.
They probably hate Mary Mac. I mean, they probably hate anything, honestly.
Yeah. So what was his reasoning for saying Georgia's going to whoop Alabama?
He just doesn't like Alabama. He thinks we're toast. That's just shtick. You know what I'm saying? Like, we love Cade when he comes on here. He creates chaos. But, I mean, he's always saying we're trash and we're going to get blown out against Georgia for no reason. I mean, until Georgia does it. I mean, I understand, like Stephen Cherry's point, Georgia had a Saban problem. I understand that, but we still beat them last year.
You destroyed them last year. They came back in the game, but for the majority of that game, I mean, it wasn't close.
Yeah, I mean, that was our best game. That and the LSU game were our 2 best games last year.
Yeah, now look, Michigan, they've had their way with Alabama, past couple times, but that's another story. But yeah, man, look, I think you guys are gonna have a good year, man. I don't think. What's your toughest game? Is it probably the Georgia game? You think?
Yeah,
in terms of, yeah. What are your top 3 matchups?
South Carolina are probably the 2 biggest hyped up games, I would say.
Okay, would you guys say you have an easier or harder? I don't know your schedule. Would you guys say you have an easier or harder schedule than usual?
A little harder schedule.
I mean,
you guys got
it's slightly harder, maybe, but
You guys got Texas on there?
No Texas.
You got Oklahoma?
Yes.
Yes.
Honestly,
Okay.
isn't this right, Jackson? Our schedule's the exact same as last year. It's just the road and away switch, which I think's stupid, by the way. I don't know why the SEC's doing that. I don't know why we don't get to play different teams since the conference is so big now. But yeah, we basically have the same schedule as last year. It's just like instead of it being at Tennessee, it's at home.
Y'all need to go to 9 games. I mean, with the expanded conference, there's no reason not to be at 9 games now.
I agree with that. Honestly, I'm in favor of all the conferences playing the same, either 8 or 9. All of them should be the same.
It's pretty. You guys pretty much get like an extra bye week in November. I mean, you really get to rest your players in the second half of those games. You know, more than usual, but. Yeah, man. Look, I'm excited, man. This is the most angst people get. You know, we're only a couple weeks away. Wait, when's Alabama's first game? Is it August 30th too?
Yeah.
Yep. August 3rd, 2:30 p.m. Central Time, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
Who do you guys play?
Florida State on the road.
Oh, you play Florida State. They're probably not going to be good though. I mean, they've kind of
especially Castellanos, the Florida State ex-Boston College quarterback, was talking trash about us, saying that talking some smack.
It's so funny, man. Like, a lot of these teams that are typically trash during the year, their fan bases, they're the most vocal in the offseason, then they just disappear. They're gone. Once you're 4 or 5 weeks into the season, they disappear. The only time they're able to get their shots in is during the offseason. I mean, it is what it is, but yeah, man. All right, I'm gonna get out of here, guys. Man, I'm excited for the season. I think last thing I'll say, I think Kelly's gonna get fired. I think he's gonna lose that first game, and that's probably gonna be the most disappointing. I'll ask the last question. Can you name a more disappointing if he gets fired? Can you name a more disappointing hire considering his status before going there?
Jimbo Fisher.
Yeah, Jimbo.
Oh, that's a good one.
Right there. Because, I mean, Jimbo literally won a title.
Yeah, but could you make the argument that Kelly was winning at a higher or at a better pace or versus Jimbo before he left Florida State?
Yeah, I mean, Jimbo's tenure at Florida State was starting to decline, absolutely, because, I mean, the DeAndre Francois injury that year wrecked that season and wrecked DeAndre Francois' career. And Florida State was going down, but, I mean, he still had high standing because of the title. Whereas, to your point, I mean, Brian Kelly was winning at a high level at Notre Dame. They were still having great records, great seasons. And then he just
I'll put it like this, too. I think it's a bad look as well because Notre Dame just went to the championship game, right? They literally just went to the championship game. What is that was that the third year after? Yeah, the third season after he left. So if he gets fired at a place where he doesn't have an issue with talent, he shouldn't have an issue with talent. I mean, that's really going to be a black eye on his career.
He literally didn't he left. His reasoning for leaving was like, I'm going to win a championship. And it's like Notre Dame got way closer to winning a championship than he has even come close to doing at LSU.
He's got to be the most unlikable coach I've ever. I mean, do you guys get this feeling? Do you watch Brian Kelly in videos and you just feel like you want to punch him in the face? Do you ever get that feeling? There's something about Brian Kelly, man. Just it makes you mad. Just watch. I don't know what it is. I think, especially when he did that fake accent at the basketball game.
The fake accent, dude. I mean, if you're not a Southerner, don't try, man. Don't try.
Yeah. I just can't stand the guy. All right, I'll get out of here, man. Go blue. We'll see what his punishment is tomorrow. I'm not rolling out. Yeah, I feel you. I'm not going either way with it because it's not official what it is, man. It could be a hammer, man. It could be. So until I get the news, I'm not gonna celebrate or nothing about what the punishment is. So, Burke, I know you ain't really welcomed over at the other Michigan show for reasons, but hey, man, calm down, buddy. Because I know people when they get their hopes up like that, you've already decided that we ain't getting nothing, and something happens. So just wait, man. Just wait. All right, go blue. Good luck to Alabama. I got no issues with Alabama. Partially because we beat them twice in a row. But all right, have a good one, guys. Hey, go blue.
Have a good one, Ben. Have a good night.
Ben Baller. And that concludes the 45th edition of the Alabama Crimson Tide Live call-in show. Jeffrey, what have you got going on this week, good buddy?
Definitely going to be having some more content on my YouTube channel, Only Talk Sports, as we get closer and closer to the college football season. I did my AP reaction stream earlier this week. I have a lot of shorts coming out. Probably going to be doing some more live streams soon, either with Will, Jackson, whoever else out there. We'll see. Go live by myself. I haven't done a lot of live streams by myself in a while, but just did one with the AP stream. So got more content coming. Definitely going to be exciting to get college football back on our TV screens, back on the field. I cannot wait. So definitely appreciate you guys giving a subscribe over to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. Also give a follow on my X account, Only Talk Sports. Definitely don't try to engage too much of the craziness on Twitter/X, but I do talk on there some with what's going on. And also subscribe down below to Alabama, the voice of college football. We're getting close to 3,000 subs. Can't do it without you guys. We appreciate all the support. Appreciate the super chats this night as well from Godfather of the SEC and Caden, the Diesel Freak. We appreciate it, and definitely excited to keep on rolling. Keep rolling with the Tide. Cannot wait to get the football season back, man.
Yes. There we go. Teddy Friends, Family, and Cashiers post about the magic Jeffrey is creating on Only Talk Sports, where he talks sports every single day, or at least he tries to. And, of course, you can check me out on my personal channel at Jackson Johnson 979, where I collaborate with Will and D, Sports Talk with Austin, and Jeffrey at Only Talk Sports, and do numerous episodes of The Jacksonian. And you can check out my latest updates on Alabama, the voice of college football, and the Jacksonian on Jackson VOCFB on @/Twitter and on Instagram and Threads at Jackson Johnson 543-908. And check out Crimson Tide Live and Alabama Primetime Live on your favorite audio platform on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, and iHeartRadio. Please leave a rating and a review. And with that being said, like, comment, subscribe, click on the notification bell to Alabama, the voice of college football, so you never miss another video whatsoever. And we will see you Monday night and roll Tide.